Tom Hardy is a man of many accents.
Nice little place you got here, Thomas.
We got no way to understand this world.
I won't be back for the match. I'll have to listen to it on the radio.
You're not just gonna run to Eversman's position. You're gonna stop, you're gonna turn around, and you are gonna cover me.
Hardy's versatility to switch accents and change his pronunciation is pretty impressive. But what's his natural accent like? What does Tom Hardy really sound like? Well, today I'm going to break down his natural accent, and I'm going to show you what he does to change his pronunciation for his different movie roles. Plus, I'll be showing you what accent he uses to speak to dogs. It's going to be amazing. Let's get going. I want to take a quick moment to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. They are an online learning platform that I love, and they have a very special offer for you guys that I'm going to tell you more about later in the video. But first, let's get to Tom Hardy. Let's start with Tom Hardy's natural accent in this interview from 2012.
I really wanted to meet Christian as well because he's exciting and
an impressive actor.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And when I sat down, I got changed into my outfit, and I went on set, and we were doing the turns, and that's where the photo is taken from that screen test. And then this huge looming figure turned up on set. Do you know what I mean? It was about 10 foot tall and about 8 foot wide with huge pointy ears.
So here Tom Hardy speaks with contemporary received pronunciation, or contemporary RP as it's also known. Now this is an accent in Britain that's kind of associated with education. And one of the distinguishing features is that every sound is quite clear. So for example, on the T sound there, Tom Hardy really pronounces the T. So you've got photo, he really pronounces that T, it's a true T sound. On pointy ears, he pronounces that T there, pointy.
Do you know what I mean? It was about 10 foot tall and about 8 foot wide with huge pointy ears.
Now Tom Hardy grew up in West London and he went to a private school. So this is the accent that you might expect from someone of that background. But that's not the accent that he always has. Let's look at this clip.
What's your favourite type of dog? Jay, over here, mate. Down here.
Okay, so now Tom is talking to some dogs and he says, over here, mate. Over here, mate. Down here. Down here. Okay, so Tom now has gone full Cockney. So Cockney is the accent traditionally of the white working class Londoner. And Tom is now showing features of that accent.
Over here, mate. Down here.
He starts with over here, mate. Now what's happened there? Well, he's dropped the H of here, which is typical in Cockney to drop the H's. So it's over here, over here. He's actually done something there called linking, where he's linked that R of over here, like ear. Now what's happening there is when you have an R at the end of a word and then a vowel sound at the beginning of the next word, you link the two with that R, so it's over here. Now usually in received pronunciation, you don't drop the H, so it would be over here. Now because he's dropping that H, here starts with a vowel sound, ear. So he's linking the two with the R, so it's over here, over here. He also says down here, down here. Now again, he's dropping the H from here, so it's ear, and then with down, that vowel sound is quite wide. In Cockney, the vowel sounds are wider, they are broader than in received pronunciation. That just means that like the articulation, the mouth itself goes wider. In received pronunciation, it would be down, the mouth is a little narrower, whereas in Cockney, it's slightly wider, down. So in received pronunciation, vowel sounds are articulated further forward in the mouth, whereas in Cockney, they are articulated further back in the mouth. So down and dan, two different sounds there.
Over here, mate. Down here. Here. You're Prime Minister for the day. What new law would you make? Yeah, exactly. Who'd want the responsibility of being the Prime Minister? Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so again, he's dropping the H sound, this time on hood, so it's ood, and then he's dropping the T of responsibility, so it's responsibility. That again is a feature of a Cockney accent and many other accents as well. That dropping of the T, it becomes a glottal T. So it's not responsibility, it's responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Who'd want the responsibility of being the Prime Minister? Do you know what I mean?
Now remember, in the first interview, he said his T's. He said photo, pointy. He didn't drop the T's, but now he's dropping the T. All right, so we've had contemporary RP from the first interview. We've had a bit of Cockney when he's speaking to dogs. All right, then he continues with another accent.
Eddie Brock is an investigative journalist who struggles to find the truth, and in doing so he breaks eggs doing that and upsetting people that he loves. So he's not really that honest, and he has to come to terms with his honesty by getting infected by a huge alien that lives inside him.
Now, did you hear those sounds? He said struggles, loves, upsetting, and come to terms. Now, all those sounds there are the sound, which you wouldn't expect someone who speaks with received pronunciation or Cockney to use. The sound on all of those examples is a sound that you would hear in the north of England. So in northern English accents and some Midland accents, you're going to have the in come or struggle. In the south of England and received pronunciation, it's it's an sound. So it's come and struggle and love.
So he's not really that honest, and he has to come to terms with his honesty.
So that's curious. For this interview, he's speaking with a Cockney accent to the dogs, a kind of blend of received pronunciation and Cockney when he's speaking to the camera. But then, in this part, he's using Northern English sound on some words where you would expect him to use Now, it's a small feature, but it is interesting. And this is one of the themes of Tom Hardy's accent, is that it switches quite often. And to be honest, I can't quite get what his natural accent is. I think it's received pronunciation with hints of London, of Cockney, but I can't quite be sure because I've watched lots of interviews of him speaking and he seems to have a slightly different accent in each one. Now, I'll try and establish some kind of theory about why that is later on in the video. All right, we're going to get to his film roles in a second, but first, just want to show you this clip from 2002, where, I mean, I don't even know what accent is going on here. Let's have a look.
With the buttons that light up and stuff, you know, and I don't know what they have to do with it. I don't know what to do with that, but then I can't drive, let alone fly spaceships.
So we've got the word can't, which he says with received pronunciation, can't, that R sound. So that's a feature of the south of England and received pronunciation. In the north of England, it would be can't. In America, it would be can't. Apologies for my pronunciation. But in the next word, he says drive, drive. Again, apologies for my version of that. But he says it in an American English way. Drive and then fly. Like in British English, it's drive and fly. But in American English, drive and fly.
But then I can't drive, let alone fly a spaceship.
Well, okay, so in one sentence, he's using British English and American English. Now, I can understand why he's doing that. It's an interview, he's young, he's doing an interview in America, he's surrounded by American things, he's been speaking probably with lots of American people. You're gonna pick up some pronunciation features that you've heard. So that's probably why he's done that there. Now, at the moment, many of us are having to work in a different way. We're having to socialize in a different way, and we're having to learn in a different way. Now, online learning has been exploding recently, and Skillshare has been one of the platforms that is helping people to do just that. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions of learners just like you come together to develop their creative skills. And they've sponsored this video because they have an amazing offer for you guys. I see Skillshare as kind of like the Netflix for learning. You can learn anything you want, whether it's design, cooking, art, they've got it all for you. And I love that. It's a fantastic place to develop your creativity and learn new skills. And right now is the perfect time to sign up because they are offering 2 free months of premium membership, and that gives you access to hours and hours of fantastic content. Now, this offer is open to the first 500 people who sign up using the link below, so please don't wait around, sign up as soon as you can. And the price works out at less than $10 per month. Now, I've used Skillshare to develop some of my cooking skills. I learned how to make the perfect grilled cheese sandwich. I learned how to chop like a professional chef. I've learned how to make dumplings, and I've also learned how to do a bit of graphic design, which hopefully you've seen on my social media platform. Now, why do I think you should sign up to Skillshare? Well, there are 3 reasons as an English language learner. The first one is that you are learning through real skills. You're learning actual things that you're going to use in everyday life, and I love that fact that you are doing. You're not just sitting in front of a grammar book, you're actually doing something with your English, which I think is fantastic. The second reason that I think it's fantastic is that you are learning English through doing something that you love. And I've always said that that's the best way to learn a language, is to learn it through your passions, through your hobbies and your interests. So for example, if you love cooking, Skillshare has fantastic videos teaching you how to cook. At the same time, you are learning English, which is fantastic. What a great way to learn a language. And you'll be learning topic-specific vocabulary that's going to help you. So if you love cooking and you learn English through cooking, you'll broaden your vocabulary related to that subject, and that's fantastic. And the third reason that I think Skillshare is really good is because it's authentic English. This is not written by a course designer or by an English teacher. This is real, authentic language. This isn't designed just for English learners. This is designed for everybody. So you're going to get very natural English. So if you're intermediate level and above, this is absolutely perfect, especially for getting higher level vocabulary. I want to personally recommend the class called Work From Home as a Creative. Ever since the lockdown, I've been working from home and I've been looking for strategies to stay creative and to stay productive. And this class was fantastic. It's run by Amaryllis Henderson, and she is a painter and creative, and she has these great techniques to keep you productive and keep you focused on your work. And what I like is that it kind of flips the idea of a 9 to 5 and how we should be productive in a 9 to 5 way, and looks at how we can work from home successfully, which for me right now is super useful. So yeah, that's one course that I can definitely recommend. So if you're interested in getting 2 free months of premium membership with Skillshare, then use the link below, sign up, check it out, have a go, and take not only your English but your creativity to the next level. Let's get into his first movie role in Black Hawk Down, where he plays Twombly, an American soldier. Now, I'm not an expert in American English, but I think he did a pretty good job here. Let's have a listen.
And you're not just gonna run to Eversman's position. You're gonna stop, you're gonna turn around, you are gonna cover me.
Now, there are lots of features there of American English. One particular one is stop. Stop, that ah sound on the O. In British English, it would be stop. But in American English, stop. In fact, the O sound doesn't exist in American English. Let's listen to his natural British English accent say the same sound.
The options and opportunities that came along this year were an unprecedented privilege and opportunity.
Okay, so there you got opportunity, opportunity. Also, did you notice he said the T again, opportunity? So in his natural British English accent, received pronunciation, he's saying that T and he's saying O. Opportunity. Now, he's done several roles where he speaks with American English. Here's one from the film Lawless, where he does a kind of deep South American accent.
We got no way to understand this world. We got about as much sense of it as a bird flying in the sky. What I'm trying to say is that the course you like, it is changing. You don't even see it.
All right, so we've got that ga again, that ah sound on got. You've also got the R. Now, in American English, the R sound is rhotic, it's pronounced, so bird, bird. In British English, it's non-rhotic, so we don't pronounce the R's in that position. So it'd be bird, bird, as opposed to bird.
We got about as much sense of it as a bird flying in the sky.
Now, I love the way he says is. He goes ears, ears. Now, as I said, I'm no expert in American English, so if there's anyone watching that kind of understands that deep South accent, if you'd love to leave a comment and tell us what he's doing there, that would be fantastic. And in fact, which part of the deep South is the accent specifically from? I'd love to know. Now, I could talk about Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, but I don't know if it's that useful for you guys.
Bane. Let's not stand on ceremony here.
We're going to skip Bane and we're going to go to another one of his very specific accents. He does a Welsh accent in the film Locke.
Eddie, it's your dad. Is your mother there? No, she's not back from the shops yet. I won't be back for the match. I'll have to listen to it on the radio.
So in this film, he spends 2 hours in a car, and it's just Tom Hardy in this film, no one else. You hear him speaking to lots of different people on the phone, but you never see anyone else. So it's quite an intense film. Now this accent, this Welsh accent, it's quite a hard one to do. But I think, personally, I think he does a really good job. Now there are a couple of features here that I want to identify. One is the intonation, it's the sing-song nature of Welsh. Whenever anyone talks about the Welsh accent, they always talk about this sing-song nature, the way it goes up and down. It sounds lyrical in many ways, it sounds musical. Another big feature is the length of vowels. In a Welsh English accent, the vowels are elongated, they are longer. So, Eddie, it's your dad, it's your dad. Again, you can hear that intonation, the kind of sing-song nature there, and also that elongated ad, it's your dad. So, again, my example is terrible. I apologise to everyone in Wales, but you get what I'm saying here. So that's that longer vowel sound, which we hear just here as well.
Eddie, it's your dad. Is your mother there? No, she's not back from the shops yet. I won't be back for the match. I'll have to listen to it on the radio.
So again, you've got that elongated vowel sound on radio. Also, the other feature that I wanted to talk about is that alveolar tap R. There's a little tap. It's radio, radio. It's not radio, but it's not radio. It's in between. It's a little tap. Radio. I can't do it that well.
I'll have to listen to it on the radio.
Finally, I want to look at his Cockney accent. There are three main examples of his Cockney accent. There's Bronson, there's Peaky Blinders, and there's Legend. I want you to play a little game at home. Close your eyes and try and guess which role he's playing, because the accents are quite similar.
Nice little place you got here, Thomas. Or is it? A foreclosure of a gambling debt from some poor young lord who you pumped full of opium in one of your casinos. Was that just tittle-tattle?
Possibly my favourite Tom Hardy role is Alfie Solomon's, the Jewish London gangster. Now, we've got features there of Cockney with the T sound. So there's that glottal T again. It's little, not little. But actually, he does say the T's on tittle-tattle, which is interesting. So again, there's that option. Nothing is ever one way or the other. When we are talking about someone's accent, sometimes they might use that feature, the glottal T, but sometimes they might not. It's completely up to the individual. So he says little, but then he says tittle tattle. He does use another glottal there with opium. Opium. He says opium. Opium. Now that P sound can also become glottal. So it's restricted in the throat there. So it's opium. Opium, not opium. So it's not just T's that are glottal, you can also have a P as well.
When you see him next, you tell him for me, yeah, that I say, Charlie, right? His brother, yeah.
Here Reggie Cray says brother, brother. Not brother, that th sound is replaced in Cockney English with a v sound, a V. So it's brother or mother.
Charlie, right? His brother.
So as you can see, Tom Hardy has such a versatile range of accents. Now, coming back to the question that I put earlier, why does he change his accent, his natural speaking accent, so much? Well, to be honest, I think that he's so involved in the characters that he's playing that it's natural for him to pick up these inflections, these pronunciation features, and particularly if he's doing one role at a certain time, if he's interviewed at that same time, he's probably going to be speaking with inflections of that accent. So, for example, let's say he's doing Alfie Solomon's in Peaky Blinders, they're filming that for several months, he's speaking with that accent all the time. Then when you interview him, it's probably very hard to switch back to his natural accent. Of course, if you embody the role of a character, then you're going to carry that with you throughout your day, and so therefore you're going to be speaking with a bit of that accent to an interviewer or to your family or whatever it is. That's my own personal opinion. I think that the fact that he's such a good actor and lives the roles, that then he takes his pronunciation into into his real life. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you have any suggestions of any other famous people that you'd like me to analyze in terms of their accent, then let me know in the comments below. And of course, remember to sign up to Skillshare. The link is just below. You get your 2 free months of premium membership. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I really enjoyed it. I'll see you real soon. This is Tom, the Chief Dreamer, saying goodbye.